Family, good morning. It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much for joining me today on Tuesday. Today is March 3rd. All right, we are a week away from Alabama's spring football practice, which will start next week here in beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I appreciate you guys getting active inside the comment box, and good morning. Letting me know where you guys are watching from, and I really appreciate you guys being here during Wake Up Bama, which is published every morning at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then, of course, Monday through Friday live at 10 a.m. or as major news happens. So thank you so much, and welcome to today's program. Today we'll be talking about some headliners going into spring football, and of course we will be live for this afternoon's game between Alabama basketball taking on Georgia. Alabama favored by 1.5. We'll see if Alabama basketball can continue to stay hot. They've won their last 8 games in SEC play. They're red hot under head basketball coach Nate Oates, and curious to see if they can continue that against Georgia. I think they will, and then they take on Auburn, and then we'll see where they're at in SEC play. I'd imagine they finish out second. So March is going to be action-packed. Can't wait to see what goes on with Alabama basketball. And, of course, as we always do, we lead off with football. So thank you so much for being here today on the program. Little different setup. I'm always changing kind of things, and I hope you guys like, kind of the background appearance. I don't know. Do you guys like this? Let me know inside the comment box. All right. Where I want to start today is just kind of asking the biggest questions, right? And what I mean by that, I'm always asking questions. I want to know, like, the biggest questions for you going into spring football. What are those questions, right? Like, post inside the comment box. I think when I look to spring football, I've been saying, and as we started talking about the defense this morning, we started with the defensive line. But I think, like, overview for Alabama football, I have so many questions, and I could, kind of go on and on about the different questions that I have relative to Alabama football going into spring football. So I think since we're talking defense most recently, I'll probably go with, like, defensive questions that I have. And, I mean, let me ask you inside the comment box, and good morning to everybody. We'll do some AM shout-outs in just a minute. What are your questions regarding the Alabama defensive line? Like, what questions do you really have regarding Alabama's defensive front? Do you feel that kind of like these transfers, and that's something that I was kind of playing around with this morning, is, are these defensive linemen that are coming in, Terrence Green, Devin Tompkins, are these guys going to be able to kind of uphold that standard of the defensive line play? Are these guys going to be that good, right? I kind of have a feeling that they are. Right? I think that was probably one of the areas that Alabama did really well in the transfer portal, because they lost some guys for sure, right? But I think, like, when you look to who they brought in, I think it was kind of a commitment to bringing in high-level players at the defensive line. And with that said, we can talk about these guys all day long, but, like, a guy like Terrence Green, how can you not be excited about what he brings to the table? How can you not be excited about the possibilities of Devin Tompkins, whether he's playing in or he's at that bandit position? How can you not be excited about a guy like Desmond Zulu, right? So I was thinking about that with, like, biggest questions that I have for spring football. And I'm kind of with the defensive side because I've been talking offense so much lately. I kind of hanging out on the defensive side. My other question is, like, okay, so we have, a lot of guys that have come in from the transfer area, but, like, how good is Jeremiah Beaman going to be? Nobody has talked about Jeremiah Beaman, right? Nobody has talked about Edric Hill, right? Are people talking enough about London Simmons, right? I don't know, And good morning to everybody. I appreciate you guys getting in here. Whether you're positive, whether you're negative, I appreciate the 43 of you coming in so far this morning. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, right? So I kind of start there, and I think the defensive line will be fine. I like the rotation. I think we have enough rotational pieces on the defensive side where Alabama will be really good. It's just, are they going to commit to getting after the quarterback, right? I think the pass rushers, right? I think you got Yanzi Pierre, who's going to be fantastic. I think Justin Hill, and then who after that? And is there going to be a guy that that is a freshman on the defensive line or edge rusher that can get after somebody, right? What you guys think? Is there so my question to you, is there a freshman defensive lineman or a freshman edge rusher that gets after the quarterback? All right? You guys having fun inside the comment box? I appreciate you guys being here. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining me, all right? Let's see what you guys are saying inside the comment box. Yeah, man. What's up, man? Broderick, I see you, bro. Good morning to you. We'll do some AM shout-outs in just a minute. Will High Notes ready for spring football? Yep, 100%. Yeah, I appreciate you, Young C. Thanks for joining me. All right, I know Max is getting worked up by Bot Ricks inside the comment box. Bruce, what's up, man? Good to see you. BJ, we'll do some shout-outs in just a minute. But is there a freshman, all right, is there a freshman on the defensive line or edge rusher that you think will stand out this year? I guess like I'm asking was like Noah Wilson, is he going to be a guy? Right? Well, I think the two people, Xavier Griffin is another one. Like Cody is saying right here, right? What's your thoughts on Xavier Griffin? Well, I mean, apparently he's added what, like 25 pounds or something like that. I mean, he's not going to start, but I think he's going to play, right? He was a guy that just needed to add on weight. I think physically that was the only thing. He's a 5-star, 100%. I think he'll play. Yeah. How many like snaps and all that sort of stuff? I have no idea. But I don't think he's going to leapfrog Justin Hill. I don't think he's going to leapfrog Yanzi Pierre right now. But eventually, like, he's the guy. Think about when Yanzi Pierre goes to the NFL next year as a first-round pick, and then you have Justin Hill, and then after that you have Xavier Griffin. That's going to be crazy, right? Kevin, what's up, man? Kevin says this, I don't worry about the players on the defense. I worry about the play calling. You know, it's weird that I've been posting, and I appreciate the comment inside the comment box. I've been posting recently about the defense, and all of a sudden, like a lot of there must have been a major analyst out there talking about Alabama's like lack of run game or something like that on the defensive side, like their ability to not stop the run. Because now everyone's like, Alabama can't stop the run. Alabama can't stop the run. I was like, what? I thought they did a really good job stopping the run for the majority of the year. It's just they got caught by a bus on the back end. I mean, nobody was going to stop Indiana. Nobody. I mean, Alabama wasn't. But I think overall, collectively, I think Alabama did a really good job, you know, elevating their run defense from year over year, right? That's what I would say. Good morning to you, Kevin. I appreciate it, man. So that's kind of how I feel, right? You know? With Alabama's defense. But my biggest questions, and kind of that's what kind of I was leading off with, is the inside linebackers. And we'll talk about the inside linebackers maybe tomorrow or the next day. But inside linebacker, I still don't know. We have no idea. And it's completely different from the last time, right? Like last year. Because we had so much experience last year with the inside linebackers, and it's a complete opposite this year, right? Let's see what Owen has to say. Owen has to say this. That's old narrative. Kane Womack has evolved a lot during his time here, and I expect him to do the same the upcoming season. He will improve the run D. Yeah, 100%, man. I agree. So that's why it's been interesting to like see kind of some comments on YouTube or on the Facebook channel about people feeling that Alabama can't stop the run, right? Alabama Poe asks, the Kyle Henderson show or not Bama football on YouTube anymore? I don't know, man. I'm trying to just make it month to month, so I'm always trying to rebrand. You know, however I can continue to do this until the rest of March, until the rest of April, to the rest of June, July, until the football season. Like, I'm gonna try I'm gonna fight and claw to make it to the football season. So I don't know. If you guys don't like the Kyle Henderson show, that's fine. Like, I'm trying different things, but clearly I'm still talking the same topics. So I appreciate it. Thank you. Max having fun with it again, saying that's a sharp set. Can't wait to see the traffic reporter. Anything else you got, Max? Let's see. We'll leave it up to Max. What else you got, bro? Come with it. Get it all out. Is there anything else that you guys have to say about the new set? Max, anything else you got, bro? Can't wait to see the traffic report. I heard somebody wanted a globe. Is there anything else? Do you guys have anything else? I'll give you guys a minute. Okay. Kaylin says, digs it. All right. Bruce is having fun with it. Okay. Is there anything else? All right. Is there anybody else? It's your show. All right. Anything else? Sounds like the late night show with Jay Leno. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. Well, let's see what else we could do. All right. We could just do no background. All right. All right. We'll take the background off. Right. All right. We want to take out all the stuff. Okay. There you go. All right. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Hey, Mostly, what's up, man? We'll do some shout outs in a minute. All right. All right. Cool. What's up, Egypt? What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. Morning, y'all. No, leave it up. Keep the background. It's all good. No, it's your guys' show. You guys determine like what we do here, so it's all good. Chris, what's up, man? Good to see you, bro. BJ says it looks like a sports machine from back in the day, ESPN. Okay. John says looks like a padded room. Okay. Keep on going, guys. Get it all out. What else you guys got? Was a nice change up. Okay. All right. Oh, man. Michael Hill says it's probably why I like it. Does look like the ESPN machine. Yeah, I don't know. I'm always changing things, you know? You got to continue to evolve. Most people, like, they don't like change, right? A lot of people, you know, I mean, I like the Dr. Truly background. I don't know what that is. Oh, it's all good. All right. Cody keeps saying this. All right, let's see what Cody has to say. Cody says, Kyle, bring steak and fried chicken and Chipotle for the defense, Krispy Kreme for the offensive line, and some ice cream too. Okay. Word. All right. All right. Rex says something happened to the camera angle. Okay. Anything else, Rex? All right. Let's see. Jamie says looks aren't everything. Okay. What else you guys got? Anything else? Let's see. Alabama Post says he thought he was on the wrong live for a second. Okay. All right. See, Rex doesn't like change. Okay. Thanks, Rex. Anything else, buddy? Cody says, I'll sit in the stands with a Mountain Dew or a Dr. Pepper in my hand. Okay. All right. Interesting. Dean says it's not about the background. It's about, yeah. Isn't it wild, right? We tried like one background change and things got wild, man. Kyle Cigar Lounge. What's up, Will? Good to see you. All right. Anybody else before we continue with the show? Anybody else? All right. Tried the new background. We'll continue to, change things up. Yeah, it's good. You guys doing okay? All right, let's see who's here on the program. All right. Appreciate you guys. All right, coming to the all right, we have Young C. What's up, Young C? Good to see you, bro. Good morning to you. Jamie, good morning as well. Right. Bruce Williams, good morning to you. All right. Max Tooney, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. We have Danny the Great. Good morning. Thank you all, 53 of you, for joining me this morning. Really, really appreciate it. All right, Young C, good morning to you. Max Tooney, what's up? Will High Note, thank you for your support. Owen, same to you. Young C, thank you so much. Barrix, what's up, man? Appreciate you being here. Owen, good to see you. Good morning to you. Bruce is coming to us from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Right. Bulldog, Mississippi, good morning to you. I appreciate you. Max Tooney says no hat. No hat today. Seth, what's up, bro? Good to see you. Thank you. All right, David Harris is coming to us from Birmingham. That's what's up, man. I'll be there this weekend. O3, good morning, man. I really appreciate you being here. Chris G has leveled up to a level 1 fan funder. Thank you so much. Robert Bradley Jr., good morning to you. Hope you're off to a really good start as well. All right. We got Rex up in the house. I appreciate you, Rex. Thank you so much. All right, let's see who else we got. We have Kevin. Good to see you, bro. All right, thank you so much. All right, let's see. In case I missed you guys, don't hold it against me, all right? Appreciate you guys being here, all right? Yeah, I had to, switch up the show because, I know how I no longer have a sponsor. So I'm always, like, changing things around. This is, like, what it also could look like. So I have, like, a bunch of different backgrounds that I'm always playing with, and the newest one is this one. So if you came here and you saw a different background, don't be alarmed, right? And obviously, I want to continue to try to grow. I know we have 56 on here, which I'm really grateful for, but we want to get, try to continue to do this. I have always kind of been open with, my career possibly changing, just depending, on like the seasons or kind of where we're at. But the old sponsor was Sleeper, right? And the Sleeper contract ended, and that was great. So we'll see if we can continue to do this. It's always like kind of like I'm just a month-to-month guy, to be honest, right? Like literally, I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people in different positions, but that's kind of where I'm at. So, all right. So the Kyle Henderson Show, what is it going to be? It's going to be I'm talking the same exact stuff, okay? All right. Now I appreciate and then tonight we'll be live for the basketball game, all right? Cool. Thank you, all right? Mostly, what's up, bro? Good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. All right. Ty Simpson has been brought up a bunch of times within the last couple of days, and rightfully so, after his performance at the NFL Combine, right? And I think, like, with Ty Simpson, it's really interesting, like, how he'll be remembered. And hopefully he's continued to be remembered in a positive way. And I say that because during the season, it felt like, Ty Simpson didn't really get the notoriety or respect that I thought he was going to get. And you look to the season that he put together, 28 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. But again, right, he didn't win a national championship. I felt that, there was times that he like those first 8 games or whatever it was after the Florida State game, he was on fire. He was one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And that's something that even like someone as notable as Todd McShay says, that his film during those first 8 games of the season is better than that of Fernando Mendoza. My take on Ty Simpson is I think Ty Simpson is probably closer than his ceiling to like some younger guys, of course. I mean, the guy's like, 23 years old or something like that. And I don't feel that he's going to be a day one starter in the NFL, but I do feel that Ty Simpson is going to be productive in the NFL. I think he'll be a good quarterback in the NFL. I think that he's really yet to display his true athletic ability, and he didn't show a lot of that this last year. Maybe it was because he was injured most of the season. And I do find that interesting that, despite him being probably, 50% healthy, that the coaches still did not put in Keelan Russell or Austin Mack. They just had to make sure that those guys were developed correctly. Even with that, Ty Simpson at 50% health threw for 28 touchdowns and 5 interceptions. But the interceptions that he threw, right, he threw one against Eastern Illinois, so it was really 4. Right, he threw a kind of a Hail Mary that they intercepted. But the one that people won't forget is the one against Oklahoma. And that eventually led to a loss, and people could not shake that one particular play. Overall, Ty Simpson was really good. I think he was a better quarterback than Jalen Milroe. I think head-to-head, Ty Simpson operated the offense better than Jalen Milroe. I think the difference between those two quarterbacks was the fact that Jalen Milroe at the college level used his playmaking ability and he was healthy, whereas Ty Simpson wasn't healthy and he didn't have a good offensive line at all. So I think when you look to the NFL and kind of where they're going to go in the NFL, Jalen Milroe didn't play. I don't think he played 5 snaps for the Seahawks during the regular season. He didn't. I think he was also a little bit injured, or I'm not sure what happened, but he won a Super Bowl ring and he played during the spring, during the early part of the year, like in some scrimmages, but he didn't play during the regular season. I think Ty Simpson will play this coming year. I don't think that he's going to be a starter. but he is the number 2 quarterback off the board. So Ty Simpson, I think, will be productive, and I'm glad to hear him getting some notoriety in kind of a positive light, because I felt that we didn't give him all the praise that he deserved. And I do feel this. He will show his athletic ability at some point in the NFL. And what I mean by that is kind of the side-to-side movement, the extending plays. He can do that. He didn't necessarily do it here, but we wish him the best. And I'm happy that he's getting some good notoriety following the NFL Combine. As we kind of switch gears and we start to look towards next week and we start to look to Alabama spring football. And again, if you're just joining me, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We got 60 on. Thank you so much for joining me on this program. We look to Alabama's quarterback position. And this is going to be a daily topic that we continue to talk about. And the 2 quarterbacks that we are discussing is clearly Keelan Russell and Austin Mack. You also have Jet Tamala. You also have Caden Kahawa, who is in. Those guys are freshmen. And the Alabama quarterback position, I was going to ask you, and this is something that I probably ask you a bunch of different times, do you feel that the quarterback competition kind of bleeds over into the season? I think this will be the first year that we have a quarterback competition that really goes into the first, couple of games. Over the last years, I think when you're looking at the quarterback position, it's been interesting that you've had Jalen Milroe and Ty Simpson, 2 quarterbacks that weren't, recruited by DeBoer, have been the starters for those first 2 years. This will be the first year that we have Austin Mack and we have Keelan Russell that were perfectly designed for this offense, right? I think that we get into the season and maybe even by game 5, we're seeing 2 quarterbacks still compete for that job before we go in the back end of the season. How do y'all feel about that? Do you think that's going to happen or not? I think so. And I think it's a way also to keep kind of those quarterbacks happy. Now, I haven't talked about this, and this is kind of like a worst case scenario, okay? And this would be a kind of a situation that I think that this situation will happen across some place in the country. I don't know where, but I do feel that this will happen. And I'm not saying this will happen here at Alabama, but I do feel that this will happen. These guys are going to go into springtime, and we're not going to know who the quarterback is, right? Maybe we do. Maybe like Keelan Russell starts killing it, and maybe he's just, laser focused, and he becomes the guy. Well, I do feel at some point, and I'm not saying this will happen at Alabama again. I'm just saying at some point across college football, there will be a player of high value that leaves, even after the transfer portal. And I think they will challenge the NCAA. And I know the NCAA is trying to, prevent this right now, but I think it's going to happen. Who is that going to happen to? It'll happen to somebody. And the situation will be like this. That person is not happy with where they are on the depth chart for spring. Now, there's no transfer portal window, so the gray area to get out of that is to disenroll from the university. And you pull out of there, right? And you re-enroll somewhere else. Now, you probably have to, that other school is going to have to pay, your contract to get you out and all that. But I do think that will happen at some point in time. Again, I don't think it'll happen here because the coaches know that, and the coaches are strategic, and the coaches are going to play Austin Mack and they're going to play Keelan Russell the whole time. They will, every single thing that they will do will be simultaneous. They will do the interviews at the same time. They will take first snaps together. The coaches will not tell you who's 1 or number 2. They will be politically correct the entire time and tell you that it's an even race, even though that they probably already know. But because they have to keep these guys. So they're going to do everything that they can to just be like, well, we don't know. And all the players right now, they're going through media training, and they're learning to say that same thing. Hey, who's looking good at the quarterback room? It doesn't matter. Any quarterback that steps onto the field, we feel comfortable with. Is that true? Maybe. But you already know, like, if you're a player, you know which quarterback is better. But they're not going to say that because they have to keep these guys happy. I mean, these are 2, multi-million-dollar quarterbacks that you have on the roster. Alabama is one of the few places where you have a true quarterback competition. And you can't afford to lose Keelan Russell. You can't afford to lose Austin Mack. You just can't, right? So I think that everybody is just going to say, and neither of these guys will go to SEC Media Day. They won't take Keelan Russell. They won't take Austin Mack. They didn't take Ty Simpson. What makes you think they're going to take 2 lesser experienced quarterbacks? They're not. So, and that's by design. They want to make sure that these guys are still fighting all the way through. And, who has the edge right now? I think from a fan's perspective, Keelan Russell is already the quarterback. From a coach's standpoint, I don't know. I guess we'll have to figure it out. I mean, from last year, who played more? Austin Mack played more. Why did he play more? Let me ask you this. Why did Austin Mack play more than Keelan Russell? Why? Was it because he was better than Keelan Russell? Was it because he has more experience than Keelan Russell? Was it because he's older than Keelan Russell? Why did Austin Mack play more than Keelan Russell last year? If Keelan Russell is the better quarterback than Austin Mack, then why did Austin Mack play more than Keelan Russell? Does anybody have a legitimate reason why? Because, like, for me, I've always thought that the best players play first. Right? Is that not the case? Is it just because, like, he wasn't ready, or is it because Austin Mack was better? Because I always thought you put in the players, like, if you have the first team guy, you have the second team guy, you have the third team guy. And if Keelan Russell was the third team guy, how is he going to jump Austin Mack this year? Like, what does he have to do? I think it's interesting. You could talk about it for forever. Let me ask you this. Who's better right now? Who's better? If we have a game this Saturday, who's playing? Who's the starter? And do you play two quarterbacks? Here's another one. If Alabama had a football game this Saturday, would there be two quarterbacks that played? Here's another question. If Alabama played a game this Saturday, who starts? Keelan Russell, Austin Mack. Post inside the comment box. I'm so curious to see what you say and why. And also this, can you tell me why that Keelan Russell is better than Austin Mack? I just want to hear it from you. Why is Keelan Russell better than Austin Mack? Is it a rating? Is it something that you've seen? Is there something that you don't like? Do we have, and also this, do we have any Austin Mack fans here? We're Austin Mack fans. Are you and I say this all the time. Why are we afraid to like Austin Mack? Why does it make people like upset when you talk about Austin Mack? Why? Interesting. Yeah, really interesting to talk about. The quarterback battle is going to be crazy here. Can't wait to talk about it. I'm glad it's finally here. All right. When you talk about players that we're watching, who are players that you like have kind of your eye on? It could be a newcomer. It can be a guy who's coming back at any particular position. It can be anybody. Who do you have like your eye on? I'm watching Rico Scott. I am so intrigued by Rico Scott. I'll tell you why. I mean, this guy, I feel that there's upside, and I do feel that this is kind of a contract year for him, so to speak, right? He's been here a while. We all know what we think he's capable of, but is he going to get on the field this year? That wide receiver room, who is going to get on the field? You imagine if Rico Scott doesn't play again this year, what will that mean? Will that just mean kind of a talent deal? I guess. Because to me, Rico Scott was ready last year, and he barely played, right? I think some people were pointing out that he had some drops. Who didn't have drops last year, right? And even for me, even when I do like the graphics and I put them out here, I'm like, okay, we got Ryan Williams, Lazier Brooks, and I just put Noah Rodgers. Why am I putting Noah Rodgers over Rico Scott? When I do that, I guess the reason I'm doing that is because Noah Rodgers played significantly over the last 2 years compared to Rico Scott, where he didn't. But would Noah Rodgers play here last year? Right? Would Noah Rogers have played more than Rico Scott last year? I don't think so. Who would you start Noah Rogers over last year? Jeremy? Isaiah? And I know you're probably going to say Isaiah because Isaiah left, but I don't think that's true. I think Isaiah Horton was a good wide receiver. I think he is a good wide receiver. I think he clearly is, a bag chaser. He wanted to be here because he was friends with Ty Simpson, and then he left. He has no allegiance to Alabama, doesn't care about the capstone. It's true, right? I'm sure he had a really great time here. I'm sure he made his millions, and now he'll make even more money at Texas A&M. So I think do you feel that Isaiah Horton is better than Noah Rogers? That's also another. Who would be a better wide receiver this year? That you know what? I wish we could put this in a time capsule. Who catches and who's more productive this year, right? Noah Rogers or Isaiah Horton, right? 62-1. I appreciate you guys being here. Almost to 70 watchers on the Tuesday show. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. All right. And Owen says that Horton was underwhelming, right? Yeah, I know. Those 3 touchdowns against Auburn. I mean, good thing he caught him, right? But I think a lot of people are feeling that Noah Rogers is better than Isaiah Horton. That's interesting. I don't know. All right. I think I'm going to set up a poll, and I think it's going to be the way that I am envisioning it. But let's see. Better wide receiver, Noah Rogers or Horton? All right. Rogers, Horton. Or I'm going to put Rico Scott up in this too. Rico. And then I'm going to put don't sleep on Derek Meadows because I know as soon as I post anything, somebody's going to say don't sleep on Derek Meadows. Okay. All right. We have a poll that is active. Go ahead and vote in it. And the options are best wide receiver, Noah Rogers, Isaiah Horton, Rico Scott. Don't sleep on Derek Meadows. We'll I'm curious to see what happens. So far, Rogers is out the gates, the best one. So Alabama fans feel that they've upgraded, right? Yeah. I do feel that in like a poll like this on a, Alabama channel that Isaiah Horton is going to, he's not going to get votes because he just dipped out, right? But he was good. I don't think they used him enough. I thought he would be a little bit better, but he did come through. What do you have? 3 touchdowns against Auburn, right? I thought he could have been used more. B-Rob says, look, he says this. The best wide receiver is Isaiah Horton, 100%. Was not used. He could have been a reason he left. He's 6'4", didn't challenge the defense, find ways to get one-on-one matchups. B-Rob, I do feel that Isaiah Horton is a damn good wide receiver. I'm serious. I'm not going to sit here and be like he's not. I just don't feel that. And that was kind of the one downside about Alabama's offense is they had no vertical game. They didn't. Right? BJ's like, yo, this is a hard poll for sure. Noah Rogers, 31%. We have Rico at 31%. We have Don't Sleep on Derek. And we have Isaiah Horton at 19%. I guess the way that we can look at it is we got guys. Even though we lost Isaiah Horton, we got guys. And another wide receiver that we lost that we didn't even talk about is like Jalen Mbakwe. That was an experiment that just unfortunately didn't work. And I hope he does well. I hope Jalen Mbakwe does well. And then we have, Colby coming in. He's like, yo, I'm going to go with Sadarian Morgan. I think Rex said that as well. You guys are right. Yo, Sadarian Morgan, this guy, I mean, come on. I'm so excited. I think footage of Xavier Crowell and footage of Sadarian Morgan, I think might break the internet, right? Early on. Speaking of breaking the internet, how about this super chat from Michael Hill? Man, Michael Hill, thank you, bro. Appreciate you, brother. He says this. Look, the great thing about Alabama is we don't rebuild. We just keep reloading. Either way, we're always going to be in the game. Yeah, and that's just it, bro. I mean, it's so amazing to me, specifically in this time of college football, that you lose guys, right? A ton of guys. You look at all the guys that are coming in, right? Like I was thinking about this. These are the newcomers. You have, let's see. You have so many new guys that have been added. Let me get the official number. and guys that left, and you're still able just to compete at this highest level. You got, 25 guys coming in, right? Jet Tamal, Tatum Kawa, Crowell, Trayshawn Brown, right? Khalifa Keefe, Sadarian Morgan, Aubrey Walker, Mari Saab, right? All the way down. And you have a new era of guys coming in, you still can maintain at this high of a level. And it's hard, man. It is so hard to compete for a national championship now. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate you, man. Strong supporter of the show. All you guys are. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And it looks like there's some chatter inside the comment box about Daniel Hill maybe losing some weight. That wouldn't surprise me. That might be the only thing that young man needs to do is just lose a little bit of weight and gain a little bit more speed. And we're talking about Daniel Hill, the running back. And when you talk, man, start talking running backs. I mean, there's so many questions there, right? And so much excitement. AK Deer, five Adam, what's up, man? Mentions AK Deer, 100%. I think that Daniel Hill and AK Deer start off this season as one hell of a 1-2 combo. Imagine that, and then you kind of throw in, Kevin Riley at times or Xavier Crowell whenever he's kind of ready to go. But a guy that I'm watching just before I leave this clip is definitely Rico Scott. I am so excited about him, man. Right? And then that Alabama secondary, I think like you look to Alabama secondary, and we have so many guys in that secondary. We can, I mean, look, a guy like, what are you guys thinking about a guy like Mincy? I'm trying to find out like where I could put this picture where it looks best. Does it look best here or here? Because we gotta get the globe. Does it look good here? That doesn't look bad, right? J. Cole wants a poll for the running backs. What you want? Like, how would you word the poll, J. Cole? What I was gonna do about the secondary, man, where do you guys see Zay Mincy playing? I think a lot of you have brought up some good observations or thoughts that Zay Mincy might play the Husky position, right? I mean, and I think we're favoring Red Morgan to be the starter there. But Zay Mincy could be an interesting Husky player too. I like Zay Mincy's game. Right? Me too, BJ. I feel the same way. What do you guys got Zay Mincy at? Safety? Husky? Right? See, Dino, 100%, bro. We like the questions on our offense, they don't stop. They're literally everywhere. On the defense, it's easier. You almost have to go into like the too deep for questions. Take it easy, Owen. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining us today. But the defense, you almost have to go in like the too deep or kind of like rotational pieces. But we pretty much know where we stand. Offense, there's questions everywhere. Every single place there's questions. See, oh, look at this. Ivan Taylor, another great addition, right? Yo, welcome back, Miss Careless. Mindy, what is up? How you been? So there's quite a few of our fans that are in the state of Tennessee, right? And they have to deal with all that goes on in Tennessee. But like Patriot Life's out there, Fromm is out there, Mindy's out there, right? Nashville, Chattanooga, and then Knoxville, right? So good to see you, Mindy. Hope all is well, and glad to have you on the program as we go into spring football. Yeah, we can't forget about Dre, right? Dre Kirkpatrick Jr. Where you gonna put him? You know he's gonna play. You know he's gonna play. See, show 44. Okay, we add you to the Tennessee list. In Knoxville as well, right? Oh, AK wants to take the background up a little bit more. Where's the suit and tie? I don't know. That might be coming. I like the black tee for right now, but I sometimes bust out the blazer. I don't know. I like the background, at least for this setup, right? This is the other setup that we have right now. This one. I need to put something else like other than Bama football on YouTube. I didn't have time. I don't know what to put down there. I could put, a variety of things. I mean, Sleeper was our sponsor. That relationship just ended positively, clearly. But right now I'm just kind of rocking this one. And then I have a different one for, is it this one? Where's the other one? Oh, I don't know. I have one for Wake Up Bama too. Let's see. Sniper, what's up, man? Kyle, you need some more crimson. Yo, I can't. I can't put the crimson in here because I got hit with the cease and desist. So, trademark stuff. So I have to keep it more like, clearly I can say like Bama football on YouTube, but anything with like a script day or anything like that, I can't use it on the show. So, you learn about, and the thing I learned about trademark, it's specific to everybody's show. Like some people can have it, some people can't. So I had to kind of, adjust during the season, which is fine. Chris can't, I have no idea who this is. Kyle Dr. Turley. All right, let's look up who this is. All right, I have no idea who Dr. Turley is. Is this like, does this look ridiculous? Oh, okay, let's see. Classical guitarist and educator? Is this who you guys think I look like? This guy? I guess I could see it a little bit. Do I look like this guy? Yeah. All right. I guess I do. All right. You guys think I look like this guy? I guess I do. All right. Yeah. Everybody has a doppelganger. I guess mine is Dr. Turley. Okay. Dr. Steve Turley, bro. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that, Chris. All right. Appreciate it. Yeah. Timu Kyle. Okay. That's not bad. Dr. Turley looks like Bob Ross without hair. Chris, Chris did me dirty. It's fine. Okay. In 30 years, maybe. Okay. Do you guys have anything else about my physical appearance? How about my color tone, right? Right? Anything else? This is like jokes on me Tuesday. You guys got anything else about my appearance, about my beard, right? What else you guys got? Tough place to be, man. This is a battle zone. Kyle, he the dollar store Verizon. Okay, Got you. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. Um. Oh my God. No. No. Wait, I didn't even notice the background change. No, I just changed like all the backgrounds and stuff like that just for like different things. Does this like see I have this one? This is just like this is just like to change it up Tuesday. All right. We're still talking the same topics. Oh man. All right. 64 on. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you so much. All right, fam. Let's see. I also wanted to discuss we have a basketball game tonight, right? Alabama taking on Georgia. Um I am really looking forward to this game tonight. And I think, it's gonna be interesting because I looked at the line and Alabama favored by 1.5 against Georgia. Georgia's 10th in SEC, and I'm kind of scared. I'm like, is this game going to be kind of like, remember that Ole Miss game that we had, right? We had an Ole Miss game. What was that score? It was 93-74. Bama. The first half of that game was miserable, right? And I think when you look to this particular matchup, I mean, I take Alabama all the way. I think they win by, I don't know, 7 to 10 points tonight. But maybe because it's a road game, I don't understand why the line is so close. 1.5, right? But I mean, look, if these guys are on, I think, look, 1.5, I think you take that all day. I think Bama will absolutely roll Georgia tonight. But we will be live for the watch along. All right. So Dr. Kyle Turley will be with the play-by-play tonight. So you guys definitely roll through for Alabama and Georgia. All right. The game is at 5:30. I love that time. 5:30. All right. So, okay. All right, you guys have any questions? All right, we get to the question portion of the chat. What do you guys have? Do you guys have questions about the background? Do you have questions about, Kyle Turley? All right, Ron Burgundy, okay? All right, great show, right? Bad starting time, should be a good game. Yeah, I'm curious about that starting time. I like the starting time so we could do this and then, end the game. Those 8 o'clock games are tough. All right, you guys have any questions? This is open mic time. Let's see if we can put this here. Any was it Delilah, right? We like Delilah around here. Okay, 67 on. I appreciate you guys. All right. Any questions? Any observations? Anything about the background? All right. Anything about who I look like? All right. All right. Anthony says, how far do you think the boys get? You know what, man? This team, I don't think that this team gets through Florida, okay? I don't think this team gets through like Arizona. Right? I don't think that this team gets through like a Purdue. But I think that this particular team, if they stay hot, I think in SEC play up in Nashville, I think they'll be fine. I really do. I just, the big man presence is lacking, but I think they're going to do fine. I think I would be really, really surprised if they win the SEC championship. Okay. Now, come March in the tournament, I don't know. If this team, the scariest thing to me about this basketball team, right, is if their 3-point shot goes cold. There's been a couple times where, points in the paint are good, but that's the only thing that scares me. If this team can't, hit from the outside, I think we might be in trouble. On the other side, we've seen this team shoot like 70% from the field. We've seen this team go on epic runs shooting outside. And sometimes they're more of a second half team. Although against, who was it? The other night against Mississippi State, they had The first half was ridiculous. I've never seen a team shoot like that. So how far does this team go in the SEC? I would imagine, depending on how the bracket shakes out, I think they get to the championship game. I think they're going to stay hot throughout. I just think, long term, when we get in the tournament, if they go cold, I think it could be curtains, right? Good question, though. I like that. And I really enjoy covering this Alabama basketball team. I like how they play. They're missing some components, clearly, but they're good. I mean, shoot, they won 8 in a row, right? I mean, you kind of look to what Nate Oates has done over the last couple of years. What are our expectations? How about this? This is a question for you. What are our expectations with Alabama basketball in like the rest of the season? Is it like Sweet 16? Does anybody have them making it to the Elite 8 or the Final Four? I probably don't right now. I think that Sweet 16, Elite 8, for me, if they make the Elite 8, I will be like shocked. Sweet 16, I'm like, okay, yeah. Does anybody have them winning the tournament? And Max, dude, when I first moved here, right? So I've lived here for about 10 years. I didn't ever think that we'd be at this point with Alabama basketball. It's nice. I love it. I'm so grateful to be covering a team that is this good, right? And as Rex says, there's been a couple pieces on the inside play, right? Bristow, and I get it. The stuff with Bediako, it just wasn't going to work, but it would be nice if it did work out. I mean, another big man, because after Aiden Sherrill, okay, how about this? After Aiden Sherrill, who's the next best big? I'm dead serious. After Aiden Sherrill, who's the next big? See, Bruce has him in the Sweet 16, all right? Anthony, 100%, bro. Okay, so Cody says Sweet 16. Same with Rex. That's how I'm feeling. Shows 44 says Casey Kasem, Delilah. Dude, Casey Kasem, man. Yes. Right? This is Casey Kasem. I can still hear his voice. His voice is same with Delilah. Their voices are like tattooed on my brain. Any other questions or like comments? Or do we have any birthdays? Do we have any anniversaries that need to be highlighted? All right. Okay. Well, next week we got spring football. Okay. So we're almost there. I appreciate you guys for being here. Okay. So whether the backdrop is like changed up or whatever, it's the same stuff. We're still here. And I know, John, but I know, but you know how we feel. So come back. I'll probably have maybe another video later today. And then, of course, you can come back for the watch along tonight between Alabama and Georgia. All right. Kyle Turley, will be covering the game. All right. Kyle Turley. Not this background. We'll have a basketball background. All right. Oh, we do have a birthday. Look, Kaylin, 34 years old today. Oh, my goodness. Wow. 34 years old. Just a baby. My birthday wish for you is, I'll start with the simple. All right. Simple Alabama basketball win, right? Always good when your team wins. All right. So we have, my wish for you is Alabama basketball win by 7 points or more against Georgia. All right. My second wish for you is that you're able to just like stay in the moment. I think sometimes in life we get caught up in like yesterday or tomorrow, right? Like be here. We're always talking about be where your feet are at. So be where your feet are at, right? I hope that you have time with your family, of course, which is the most important thing, right? And I hope that you continue, your path, in this great life, connected to God, your spiritual journey. And I hope that you just have a beautiful day. All right. So I appreciate you all for joining me today right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much. Yeah. Is this the Kyle Henderson show? Well, yeah, because I'm Kyle Henderson. Even though I guess I look like, or I guess I have the same background or something like that as Dr. Turley. I'm going to dive into that. I might be Kyle Turley, right? One time I was Kyle Cortez, another time Kyle, Turley. Doesn't matter to me. I appreciate you guys for showing up. And thank you so much, Michael, for the 50 super chat, man. It means a lot. It goes a long way. I really, really appreciate you guys. Coming to you from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama on this beautiful Tuesday, March 3rd in the morning. Kyle Henderson Show. Is that okay? Have a great day, and I'll catch